Welcome to On the Couch, the show where we talk about any and everything. And I've decided to take it outdoors today. I was a little bit bored at home. When we come back after the break, I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine. She's international model Tennille Stout. And I'm going to really dig in on what goes on inside that modeling industry. I'm sure you want to know. Stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Barbados Events, Design Central Studio, Barbados Real Estate, and Empire Media Limited.
Welcome back, and I am here with Tennille. Tennille, I see you looking wrong. I know you want to get some drinks at the bar. We can get there. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, good, good. You're finding some time out to be back at home.
Yes.
How has your stint overseas been so far?
I love New York.
Okay.
It's my home away from home because I still consider Barbados my home, of course.
And where in New York are you?
Manhattan.
How's the pace of life? Fast?
Very fast, so it takes me a while to readjust when I come back home.
I know, slow, nice, breezy life where people
Laid
say
back,
good morning.
chill, yes.
Good, good. You like
It's
that?
always refreshing to witness that. Sometimes it catches me off guard. I'm like, good morning to me. I feel a little special. Like politeness has now become like so rare.
You know?
So you have to stop and appreciate it.
Now tell me something. How were you first discovered?
I did Caribbean Fashion Week in Jamaica, and there was a booker from Karen Model Agency, was called that, and then they changed it into MC Square.
Okay.
So I was signed to them.
Ah, and
I whisked away to New York.
I know, of course, a big step, but what are you involved in most? Runway modeling, catalog?
When I first started out, I did mostly runway and editorial. Now that I've matured, I do mostly catalog now.
What pays the bill? You know I can be nosy. What pays the
catalog
bill?
pays the bill. If I knew this when I first started, I would have done catalog from the beginning.
Who is your favorite designer? Who's one of the most exciting people you've worked with?
That I've worked with, I'd say Kimora Lee from Baby Fat.
Okay, why?
She's just so real and fun and down to earth, and you know this whole mogul that she is, and still you can sit down and have a real conversation with her. I love that.
Now, of course, part of modeling is getting to travel, I assume. Tell me some places you've had the chance to visit.
I've visited Ecuador, Germany, London, all over the United States, all over the Caribbean. South Africa was one of my favorites.
Okay, now, every now and again, I mean, a lot of us watch Top Model. That's as close, America's Next Top Model. That's as close as we get to what's going on in the fashion industry.
Because everybody always brings it up.
That's our only reference point.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, have you ever had any shoots that were just a little out there?
I've had this one shoot that I did in the middle of Central Park with this huge white and yellow snake. Like around. I am not kidding you. And then it was the added pressure of all these spectators. So I obviously have to perform not only for the camera but for these people too. And I'm like shaking beyond belief.
I can imagine. What were you supposed to be promoting?
Jewelry.
Jewelry.
So I had earrings and a bracelet. So it just had to be present.
Oh, lost. And of course, how did you even get past that? Like,
I went to my happy place. Well, I tried to go to my happy place, and then it worked out well that there were people around.
Right.
I started to get
because you couldn't back out.
Yeah, I couldn't back out. I had to like power through. It's like Fear Factor.
You know, go all the way to the end. Now, we also think of modeling in terms of all these casting calls, and is that just for a specific time, like when there's Fashion Week, or is that your life? Is you know?
It's just crazy like that when there's Fashion Week coming up. So you'd have to do that like twice a year. So during like the end of January and just before September. Okay. It's like you have almost like 30 castings a day that you have to get to.
Wow. Yeah. So like the typical week for you would be how many
The typical week is pretty easy for me. I probably have like 3 or 4 castings the most for one day.
Okay.
And then it is not every day.
Okay. Now I can be gypsy to Neil. I can be gypsy. I hope you can have this one. Does modeling pay the bills? Like, is it lucrative? How is it for you over there?
I have been very blessed, to be honest with you. And yes, it can pay the bills, but sometimes it doesn't work out because it's not consistent. It's not a consistent paycheck at the end of the day.
There's not that cash flow.
It's not like a salary that you get. You have that security, but you can like hit it big. You can book a job and do very well, $30,000 for this one job, and then not book anything for like 4 months.
And then you have to let that money stretch.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Not for the faint of heart, in other words.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Now, obviously, modeling is a world in which photography is involved. Have you ever encountered a sleazy photographer? Somebody that just didn't seem right, and how did that work out, if you had?
Well, one time I did work with a very sleazy, not altogether there photographer, but then you have the security of your agency. So all I had to do was just slip away to the bathroom, made a call to my agency. She was like, if you're not comfortable, just leave.
Right.
And I was like, well, great, I'm out of here. So I just left.
But there's not much of that in the industry.
There's not much of that because it's all the castings and everything that come to the agency are filtered.
Okay. What about things like drug use? I mean, we watch a lot of Lifetime TV. Anytime they're showing something with international models, you see them hitting up the cocaine in the bathroom and the drugs. What is it like really?
I've heard many rumors, I've had to say, because I've never witnessed anybody using cocaine, not even in a club.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously I've seen weed and cigarettes and alcohol, but never hard stuff, like what you would imagine it to be.
Okay. Well, interesting so far, but I got some more nosy questions for you. You know what?
Hit me.
I can hit you when we come back after the break.
This episode is brought to you by Barbados Events, Design Central Studio, Barbados Real Estate, and Empire Media Limited.
And we are back, and Toya has some juicy questions for Tennille. Tennille, I need to know, you ever fall down on the runway? Be honest, let it out.
I have never fallen on the runway. However, I have tripped, but I've never fallen. And it is not about the fall, it's about how you recover.
Oh,
yes.
The recovery.
Yes.
Okay, I like that one. Now tell me something. Anything about the modeling industry that you don't like? Because so far you've made it out to seem quite nice, and you know, anything that you don't like about it?
Well, there's 2 things I don't like about it. It can be very frustrating. Like I said, you have to be mentally prepared and financially prepared because it is not a consistent paycheck. And also, I don't like the misconceptions about models because I've been slim my entire life.
I know the
However, when I go out and I do. However, when I go and then maybe skip a meal or something, like, I get these weird looks.
They're looking at you funny.
Like, I have a eating disorder. I mean, like, come on.
That's the thing.
Okay. I don't like.
Can you eat anything? I mean, do you put on any weight at all?
Sometimes I put on a little weight, but
all
it's
of
not
3
like
pounds.
Yeah, it's not
I know
excessive, but 3 pounds is like 30 pounds in
it's
the modeling world.
Are they still like that?
Yes.
Wow. Now you're home, you're enjoying life. What does a model do in her time off?
Time off, my guilty pleasure is watching reality TV.
Oh yes, join me, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Love it.
Praise the Lord, they're marvelous.
I am a Nene fanatic.
Nice, okay, good. You just went up like this high in my box. Thank you. Oh goodness. Now, I mean, there's so many people out there aspiring to be models, you know. What would you say to them?
I would say that anything is possible. Once you have it in your mind and you decided that this is what you want to do, don't let anybody discourage you.
Amen, sister.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes, true.
And who am I to say that you will not make it because I don't think that you're aesthetically beautiful?
Yes.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You go and you walk for Karl Lagerfeld and he thinks that you're stunning.
Yes.
So
That's so true. There's so many different looks that people are going after that there's no hard and fast rules nowadays. Where are the limits for Tennille? Where is Tennille going
no
from here?
limits. No limits for Tennille. No limits. I aspire to beyond the sun.
Nice, nice. So we can look forward to seeing you in the magazines,
In the
strutting your
magazines,
stuff.
commercials, everywhere.
Good.
But however, you know what? I want to be wealthy, but not famous.
I like that.
I am a private person.
I like that. You can't deal with the paparazzi.
I cannot.
Okay. Last question for you before we close. It just jumped in my mind and I'm curious. One thing I've noticed in the industry is that sometimes they demand nudity or toplessness. How comfortable are you with your body and how does it play into...
I'm extremely comfortable with my body.
Okay.
But I'd go all the way nude if it's done tastefully.
Okay.
But
What
you
call
don't have
artistic
to.
nudes. Okay.
You don't have to go nude, and I don't like that. On America's Next Top Model, for example, it's portrayed that if you don't say yes to a nude shoot, that you'll be fired,
out, right?
Or you'll be out or dropped from your agency, which is far from the truth.
Okay. So for each casting call, they would specify what they're looking
What
for.
it is, and if you're not comfortable, then you don't go to the casting. If you didn't know it was nudity involved, and you still go to the casting and you book it, you still are given a choice. Like, are you comfortable? You want to do this?
Good to know. Interesting. Well, Tennille, thank you so much for chatting
you.
with me. I try to help others out by, asking the questions that we gypsy people always want to know. And I think you give me a lot of insight as to what is the industry.
I hope I did. Thank you.
Yeah, and you seem to be enjoying it, so continue to go as far as you can.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. And that was definitely an enjoyable chat with Tennille. We're going to have some more conversation over drinks because this is nice and everything, but I'm still a little bit parched. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of On the Couch. As you can see, On the Couch is mobile. We look forward to seeing you